The scenery on the mountain is also very beautiful, so she and I admired it together. I held her hand, your hand. Even without climbing the mountain, we can still be together for a long time. I also told her all of Gucci's fortune-telling results, saying that we would be together lifetime after lifetime, never separating. Su Qingyue's eyes suddenly lit up. Really? I said with a bit of pride. That's right. He even calculated that we are a destined match made in heaven. Hearing this, Su Qingyue's lips curved even higher, intentionally dragging out the last syllable. Really? I frowned seriously. It's true. His predictions are very accurate. Su Qingyue pursed her lips to suppress a smile, secretly happy. I hesitated, wanting to speak but stopping. I don't know how long later, I leaned into her ear and whispered, Su Qingyue, I'm stuck to you now, the kind you can't get rid of no matter what. Hearing this, Su Qingyue completely froze. Her heart felt like it was being teased gently. A numb current ran through her whole body. She slowly turned red all over. On Saturday, the tourist area was very crowded. Most were couples, to pursue the so-called forever. Su Qingyue went to the restroom next to the tourist area. When she came back, she saw me holding up a sugar painting. Eat this. Su Qingyue's eyes lit up, secretly making a determination. She must also treat me doubly well. When preparing to go up the mountain, I squatted in front of Su Qingyue. Get on. It'll carry you. Su Qingyue was stunned, a flicker of surprise in her eyes. You want to carry me up the mountain? I hummed softly. Of course. There's a mission tonight. Can't let you get tired. She blinked blankly. What mission? The next second, a wicked smile appeared on my lips. Teaching you how to kiss tonight, back in the corridor. That was our first kiss. I straightened up, carrying her step by step upwards. That was just touching. Doesn't count as a real kiss. Better to say it early, so she could prepare mentally. The girl on my back was silent, just burying her head in my shoulder without saying anything. So it was a tacit agreement. I was in a pretty good mood. On the way, many strangers looked at the two of us, because carrying someone up a mountain really stood out too much. The stairs up the mountain weren't too steep, so the walk was quite stable. Su Qingyue felt guilty, poking my cheek with her index finger. Guxing Cheng, are you tired? Put me down. I didn't stop walking, chuckling softly. Are you underestimating your boyfriend? Don't worry. When we were about to reach the top, I said shamelessly, Girlfriend, if you love me, can you give me a small reward? Su Qingyue leaned in and kissed the base of my right ear. Thinking for a moment, she felt it wasn't enough, so she leaned over and kissed it again, asking, Is the reward okay? My steps paused slightly. A low grunt came from deep in my chest. The base of my ears turned visibly red. We reached the top and prayed together at the temple. We also hung prayer tablets on the ancient stone fate tree. Each person wrote half a sentence to form a complete one. May there be years to look back on, and deep affection to grow old together. A gentle breeze blew through the prayers among the branches. Wooden tablets and red ribbons fluttered. Under the tree, I held Su Qingyue's hand. A feeling of unprecedented satisfaction and happiness rose in my heart. After playing all afternoon, I was covered in sweat. After dinner, as soon as we got back to the guest house, I went into the bathroom. We booked a large double room at the guest house. The whole room exuded a romantic atmosphere. I closed my eyes. Just thinking about kissing Su Qingyue for real later made my heart pound. Coming out of the bathroom, I wore gray pajamas and moved next to Su Qingyue. Sitting on the soft sofa, my whole body became tense. Su Qingyue smiled and rubbed my head, pointing at the small cake and milk tea on the table. Eat a little. I'm going to shower. Seems this person wants to fully enjoy tonight, savoring it carefully. I lowered my head to eat the small cake. My heart was both expectant and nervous. Finally, Su Qingyue came out wearing light-colored pajamas, her collarbone faintly visible. I stood up, opening my arms to pull her into my embrace. The light in the room was slightly dim, warm, and hazy. Su Qingyue was amused by my cute appearance. Her voice was a bit lazy. Let's watch a movie for a bit. The night is still long. We have to take it slow. I directly found a romantic anime movie, a Japanese movie with slightly more mature themes. The movie started. Holding her was a bit uncomfortable, so I wanted to shift aside. But as soon as I shifted, Su Qingyue moved closer to me, adjusting to a comfortable position. The beige sofa was very soft. We almost sank deep into it. She sat between my legs, her back leaning against my chest. The suddenly intimate position made my heart pound. The main characters in the movie were innocent childhood sweethearts, growing up together, understanding each other best. At first, neither realized they liked the other. After seeing the other interact with the opposite sex, they would feel inexplicably annoyed and unhappy, immediately sensing a crisis after realizing they liked each other. Both sides began to carefully probe, starting from poking fingers, interlacing fingers, then to an ambiguous hug, portrayed very vividly and delicately. My chin rested on the crook of Su Qingyue's neck. I could vaguely smell her fresh scent. She wore pure white pajamas with a loose collar, revealing those two soft white things, offered to me without reservation, making one want to just dive in and take a bite. The shape fit perfectly in my palm. My breathing gradually became hot. Reason was constantly burning up. Night fell. The main characters in the movie were already hugging and kissing deeply. I was teased by Su Qingyue to the point where I couldn't watch anymore, just nodding and whispering, not just liking my ears. I like her. My whole being likes her. Su Qingyue's voice rang in my ear again. Say it again, I like hearing it. This time I didn't speak. Instead, I lifted her face and kissed her lips. One hand held her waist, the other held the back of her neck. Her arms wrapped around my shoulders, slightly lifting her head to accept my kiss. She was kissed until dizzy, a soft moan spilling from her lips. I kissed deeper and deeper. Su Qingyue's whole body heated up, completely going limp on my lap. In my ears were Su Qingyue's soft whimpers, and the faint sounds from the movie. The ambiguity ceaselessly spread everywhere. Everything was magical to the extreme. I don't know how much time passed before I spared her a little. My eyes filled with thick desire. Qingyue, do you like it when I kiss you like this? The room was silent, amplifying our panting. Su Qingyue. Her fair cheeks were flushed. She hummed softly. Her cherry-pink lips glistened with a layer of moisture. Her soft, long hair obediently draped over her chest. I've tasted the sweetest treat in the world, and I'm in such a good mood. I picked Su Qingyue up in a princess carry, carrying her straight to the big bed in the bedroom. I patiently tucked her in and said, I'm going to take another shower. Su Qingyue looked up blankly. She quickly realized something and paused for a moment, suddenly burying the lower half of her face in the blanket. I went into the bathroom. I couldn't help but look up at the unfamiliar reflection of myself in the mirror. My ears were burning red, and my whole body felt like it was soaked in honey. I looked down at myself, then silently turned on the cold water tap. I came out of the bathroom and pulled Su Qingyue into my arms with one hand. Leaning close to her, I said, "Good night, Qingyue." Su Qingyue was turning her back to me. She whispered back, "Good night." The surroundings around Xingcheng were strangely quiet. It seemed like the whole world had fallen asleep. I slept particularly warmly and peacefully that night. After saying goodbye to Su Qingyue and returning to the dorm, 3 pairs of eyes immediately stared straight at my face. With scrutiny and deliberation, they stared until my scalp went numb. "What's up?" And Yi Cheng approached, squinting at me. "Looks like you two kissed pretty intensely last night, huh?" My eyes widened as I whispered, "That, you can tell?" Gucci beside him couldn't help laughing. "Xingcheng, he's tricking you." And Yi Cheng went back to his seat and crossed his legs. "Actually, I couldn't tell, but your lewd expression gave it all away." Li Yu, looking purely curious, asked, "So how did the kiss actually feel? Was it good?" I touched my nose. "Pretty good." For the next few days, Su Qingyue was preparing for some computer-related competitions. She was busy from dawn till dusk. The number of times we met decreased a bit, but the frequency of video calls increased significantly. We had to video call at least once every 2 days. Su Qingyue really liked looking at me and hearing my voice. Just seeing me made her happy. She even dreamt of us sharing a bed in the middle of the night, dreaming that she took the initiative to sit on me, boldly touching my abs. "Xingcheng, I want." But when she woke up, the sense of loss compared to reality was immense. Su Qingyue felt that, ever since that night mountain climbing, she had become a huge pervert. She couldn't focus on questions, couldn't scroll through her phone, even food didn't taste good. Every night she dreamt of sleeping with her boyfriend, only to wake up to an empty bed, nothing there. She felt entirely miserable. She really wanted to hold Xingcheng and sleep together again. But she was afraid her boyfriend would think she was too perverted, so she hadn't said it yet, planning to find a suitable opportunity. At 10:30 p.m., she finally couldn't hold it back anymore. She video called from her bed in the dorm. I had just finished drying my hair. I put on my wireless earphones and pressed answer. Then I heard Su Qingyue's gentle voice. "I miss you so much." Just those words. My ears went soft. I nodded slightly and said obediently, "Me too." Su Qingyue leaned halfway against her pillow. Her lips curled into a smile, her love unconcealed, showy yet passionate. She spoke frankly. "I miss you every single minute." She was wearing wireless earphones, but her roommates still overheard some of what she said. The single dogs in the dorm were jealous and hateful. They took turns teasing. "Women in love are scary." Her voice even got gentler. "Why is someone so clingy to their boyfriend? Aren't you afraid of being annoying?" Su Qingyue laughed and told them to get lost. I also vaguely heard her roommate's words. I hesitated a moment, then called her name, Su Qingyue. Su Qingyue looked at me intently through the screen. I rested on the desk, smiling gently. "I like you clinging to me. I don't find it annoying at all, because I want to cling to you too." It wasn't until nearly 11 p.m. when lights went out that we reluctantly said goodnight. At the end of March, the spring atmosphere grew stronger. In the campus courtyard, rose petals drifted gently in the wind. I collected all the class competition essays. After placing them on the teacher's desk, it was already dinner time. There was almost no one in this lecture building. But I hadn't gone very far. Suddenly, footsteps sounded from behind me. My wrist was grabbed tightly. I turned and looked up, unexpectedly facing a woman with cold, pale eyes, wearing a pristine white dress, her skin cold and pale. It was young Yuting. But the young Yuting right now was completely different from before. Before, she was always perfect and elegant, distant and unreachable. Now, her eyes were bloodshot with dark circles underneath. Her lips were pale too. Young Yuting grabbed my hand agitatedly. Her voice revealed intense pleading. "Gu Xingcheng, I finally have the chance to talk to you alone." I froze for a moment. I hadn't seen her in a long time. I had almost forgotten this person. After removing that filter, I suddenly realized Yang Yuting actually wasn't that beautiful, nor was she that attractive to me. My wrist was being held very tightly. I frowned slightly. Let me go. Yang Yuting was a step faster and grabbed both my hands, dragging me forcefully into a small classroom nearby. With a slam, Yang Yuting shut the door. Her tone was a bit urgent. Gu Xingqing, didn't you like me before? I agree to be with you. Really. She locked my hands tight, staring at me seriously. She had lowered herself this much to find me. I was so soft-hearted, I would definitely agree. Definitely go back to how it was. But I found it absurd and ridiculous. This person really wasn't thinking straight, blinded by arrogance. I said coldly, Yang Yuting, I've said it many times, I stopped liking you a long time ago. Stop bothering me. It's truly disgusting. Yang Yuting seemed to deliberately pretend not to understand my words, her red eyes inching closer to me. Stop messing around. Gu Xingcheng, be my boyfriend. She even tried to force a smile, wanting to appear a bit gentler, but she looked a bit terrifying instead. I stared seriously into her eyes, articulating each word, my tone calm. I like Su Qingyue, only her. She is my girlfriend now. Yang Yuting, there's no chance for us. Give it up. Not liking someone means not liking them. Things that are broken won't return to how they were. Mirrors are like that. Human feelings are like that too. My voice was calm but forceful. Every word was like a sharp knife, stabbing deep into Yang Yuting's fragile heart. Yang Yuting, stunned, took a step back. That sentence echoed in her head. I like Su Qingyue. Suddenly feeling a heart-wrenching pain, as if the only ray of warmth in her world had vanished, leaving only icy coldness and darkness. Why? Yang Yuting lowered her head in disbelief, muttering to herself. Hearing others say it was one thing, but hearing it with her own ears, hearing me admit I liked another girl was a different matter. How could I possibly like someone else? I actually liked someone else. Yang Yuting's whole body went rigid, her voice dry. She questioned, didn't you only like me? I found her absurd, and just as I was about to speak, she suddenly interrupted me. Whatever Su Qingyue can give you, I can give you too. Yang Yuting's usually cold voice became hoarse, her eyes reddened with unwillingness. No matter what she can give you, I can give you something better. Her fingers gripped tighter and tighter, as if trying to grasp a lifeline. Gu Xingcheng, come back to me. You can have whatever you want. But my gaze remained incredibly calm. With absolutely no emotion, I said no. You can't give me public partiality, pure, passionate affection. Also respect, understanding, and support. These things Yang Yuting will never understand. Yang Yuting seemed to think of something. She looked up into my eyes again, trying to hold on. You don't like those friends around me, right? They always mock and ridicule you. I swear I won't let them bully you anymore. Can you come back? I promise they. I suddenly cut her off. Yang Yuting, you are truly hypocritical. Her voice stopped abruptly, staring at me blankly. The classroom was empty. Only my reasoned voice remained. Every time they belittled and mocked me, you clearly heard it. But you pretended not to hear. You never stopped them. It wasn't once or twice, but countless times. I stared into her pale eyes, as if brutally interrogating her soul, because you were enabling them. Actually, you were bullying me too. Or rather, you were the one bullying me the most, relying on the fact that she was everything to me. Always bullying me time and time again. But Su Qingyue was never like that. Su Qingyue's friends have always been respectful and enthusiastic toward me. As long as besides Su Qingyue, no one dares to say a bad word about me. Thinking of this, my heart softened. Before I had never seen the sun. So I thought that darkness was normal. Now that I really have radiant warmth, how could I possibly be willing to go back to the past? Yang Yuting's ears rang. She saw in my beautiful eyes a few degrees more disgust and mockery, completely unlike before when they were full of stars and affection. Yang Yuting's grip on me loosened. Her voice carried bitterness, stammering, Gu Xingcheng. I wasn't bullying you. I was just testing if you would ever leave, just ensuring that no matter what happens, you would steadily burn for me. I forcefully pried her hands off, speaking coldly, but no fire burns forever without stopping. Even the hottest heart will grow cold. I will marry Su Qingyue in the future. I will be with her forever. Yang Yuting, stop holding on to unrealistic illusions. I won't turn back. You deserve all of this. It serves you right, in the empty classroom. My voice echoed over and over in Yang Yuting's ears, especially the sentence, I will marry Su Qingyue. Yang Yuting's pupils suddenly contracted. They get married. Why was it so familiar? As if some memory was uncontrollably flooding back. In an instant, a suffocating feeling rose in her viscera. All strength vanished from her body. Yang Yuting felt dizzy. She collapsed wearily onto the empty space beside her, pain driving her mad. Taking advantage of her fall, I opened the classroom door and without looking back, ran to the restroom of another building to wash my hands. Washing every place Yang Yuting had touched me, I tremblingly opened my phone, and the next second, 2 messages appeared before my eyes. Su Qingyue, I just ordered milk tea for you, 10 minutes. Su Qingyue, Pat's head. What are you doing? I miss you so much. I hesitated, afraid she would worry, but thinking it over, I decided not to hide it. I told her roughly what happened. Just as I sent the message, Su Qingyue replied instantly. Her anxiety was visible between the lines. Where are you? I'm coming to find you. In the classroom. Yang Yuting lay on the floor, drained of strength. A fragment of memories from her past life crashed over her like a tidal wave. Things she had never dreamt of before. Events that happened after I had liked her for 7 years. After we got together, she still acted high and mighty, enjoying my initiative, allowing those around her to mock me, even secretly sabotaging my career, convinced that I would never leave. So every time she saw my disappointed, lonely eyes, she felt valued, giving her joy and satisfaction. Until, forced by her mother, she suddenly missed my birthday concert to pick up another man returning from abroad. But I liked her so much, I never got angry at her. When she finally checked her phone, she saw a breakup message. She disdained it, only laughing coldly. How could I actually break up with her? She was extremely confident and certain, guaranteeing I definitely wouldn't leave, that I would definitely bow down first like before. But this time she waited a long time. 6 months later, what she waited for was the hot news of my marriage. Su Qingyue and I officially announced our marriage. Gold medal racer versus top male singer in her past life. The remaining images also flashed by one after another. Yang Yuting's brain was constantly stimulated, every single nerve. There was the scene of her staring at our wedding photo, disbelieving, the scene of her rushing to seek reconciliation, begging miserably, and the scene of her breaking down in a stormy night, regretting for a lifetime. The memories faded. Yang Yuting lay lonely and helpless on the classroom floor. They got married. Suddenly, an unspeakable emotion choked her throat, making it impossible for her to breathe. Even inhaling felt difficult. Before, she always dreamt of the past life, where I chased her for 7 years with a sincere heart. So she naturally assumed I would never leave her. Back then she was smug, fearless because she had support, even remaining high and mighty, drunkenly weaving a magnificent dream. But this remaining memory was like a silver needle dipped in deadly poison, mercilessly piercing through this dream, piercing through all her confident lies. Yang Yuting sat bewildered on the floor, eyes so red they looked ready to bleed. It turns out, whether in the past life or this one, I didn't need her anymore. At the same time, Su Qingyue almost immediately dashed out of the dorm, her eyes full of worry and heartache, fearing I was sad. Chen Shishi didn't know something had happened to me. She complained with a twisted face at the door. I'm in the middle of a ranked match. This is my promotion match. Su Qingyue didn't look back, running down the stairs. On the way, she video called me, confirming I was okay. Only then did she slowly breathe a sigh of relief. Not long after, she rushed to the farthest lecture building. Suddenly seeming to sense something, Su Qingyue looked up alertly. Yang Yuting was standing on the stairs, staring at her with a gloomy, dazed look, revealing sky-high jealousy and hatred. The quiet corridor silently brewed a storm of blood and violence. Su Qingyue, thinking about me saying Yang Yuting grabbed my hand, went mad with rage. She rushed up the stairs, grabbing Yang Yuting tightly. You keep clinging to my boyfriend, you think he's with you? Do you think I'm dead? Try forcing him one more time, but this sentence struck some sensitive nerve in Yang Yuting. Her reason screamed ceaselessly as she decisively reached out, choking Su Qingyue with force. It's clearly you. You stole him from me. Stolen in the past life and this one. If it weren't for Su Qingyue, how could I have left him? Yang Yuting had also been properly trained in martial arts since childhood. She immediately swung a fist at Su Qingyue's face. The opponent didn't seem to care, taking the punch. Decisively acting, she slammed her head against the wall with force. Fast, precise, vicious. A dull thud echoed, accompanied by the cracking sound of bone. Yang Yuting's mind was in chaos. Su Qingyue slammed her head into the wall again, her entire body's strength barely contained, each word murderous. Looks like you still won't admit it, still haven't realized your mistake. Always wanting to blame others. Yang Yuting, you pushed him away yourself. It was you. You didn't cherish him. You're cheap. Half of Su Qingyue's face was hidden in shadow, so angry her fists were trembling, her whole body in a state of tension. These words suddenly ripped open Yang Yuting's bloody scar, brutally exposing the truth, like a sharp blade twisting inside her, her insides shattering into pieces, suffocatingly painful. Yang Yuting listened, her face pale, unable to utter a word of rebuttal. That's right, it was she who had pushed away that light with her own hands. While Yang Yuting was dazed, the opponent decisively struck her face. Pain quickly spread across her face. Yang Yuting instinctively stepped back, until she stepped on the same stair. She suddenly used all her strength, grabbing Su Qingyue's arm tightly. A loud noise echoed. Both of them rolled down the stairs together, heads hitting the ground hard. Nearing evening class time, 1 or 2 students had arrived early, taking back row seats. A male student walked by hugging books. Just as he was about to go up, 2 people suddenly rolled down. He jumped back, letting out a piercing scream. Oh my god! Walking normally, and 2 girls fall down. When I ran over following the noise, I saw such a disastrous scene. I took a sharp breath. Eyes full of worry and heartache, I rushed over. Yang Yuting also fell on the ground. As I ran towards her location, still holding a shred of hope, she slowly reached her hand towards me, hoping in her heart that since she was injured, I would feel sorry for her. Even just a little bit of pity would do. But in my eyes, there was only one other person. Yang Yuting watched helplessly as I helped Su Qingyue up, hearing with her own ears my trembling voice, anxiously asking Su Qingyue, "How are you? Are you okay?" Su Qingyue leaned on my shoulder, comforting me. "Don't worry, I'm fine." Our silhouettes were so harmonious, so distant, staring at our retreating backs. Yang Yuting's outstretched hand finally dropped to the ground, her eyes red, tears slowly pooling at the bottom. Gu Xingcheng, she tried to open her mouth, hoarsely calling my name over and over. I didn't look back, but held another woman with heartache in that moment. Yang Yuting's mental pillar suddenly collapsed. Her body lying on the ground trembled slightly. Many images from the past suddenly flashed in her mind. Bitter tears slowly welled up, silently falling from the corners of Yang Yuting's eyes. She truly regretted it. Near dusk, the sun set slowly. Su Qingyue sat on a bench on a deserted path, her long lashes lowered slightly, like a child who had done something wrong. I stood in front of her, carefully cupping her face, intently examining the swelling on her forehead, an unspeakable ache, constantly surging in my chest. I pursed my lips, asking softly, "It's swollen. Does it hurt?" Su Qingyue grunted softly, tone indifferent. "It's just a small wound. Doesn't hurt at all." But when I touched it gently, she couldn't help but hiss in pain. I sighed softly, knew she was just acting tough, taking a tissue from my pocket, gently wiping the dust off her forehead, then bending down slightly, tenderly planting a kiss on it. I wondered why she suddenly stopped replying to WeChat earlier. Turned out she was fighting Yang Yuting, and she fought because I was bullied. The more I thought about it, the more upset I felt. Su Qingyue sat on the bench, silent for a while, gently tugging my hand, her voice a bit sad. "Did she just grab your wrist?" I nodded, but I washed it off. Su Qingyue said nothing. Her soft little hand stroked my wrist over and over. I watched her intently. I could feel Su Qingyue's mood wasn't great. Her mouth drooped, eyes cast down. She seemed enveloped in a layer of sadness. I stepped forward and hugged her, comforting Qingyue with a gentle voice. "Don't be sad anymore. Look, the sunset glow today is beautiful." Hearing this, Su Qingyue's eyes flickered, reaching out to hug me, burying herself silently in my arms. She wasn't sad, she just felt sorry for me, always being bothered by others, worried if I felt unsafe. The camphor trees by the road rustled in the wind. The small deserted path had no one else. I held her tight, rubbing her head like comforting a child, thinking seriously, thinking how to cheer her up. A while later, I lowered my head slightly, close to her ear. "Su Qingyue, can I grant you one condition?" Su Qingyue buried in my arms. Her voice immediately became cheerful. "Really? Any condition?" I hugged tighter, nodding firmly, but nothing too excessive. I reserved the right to interpret it. Su Qingyue's eyes deepened. "Can I save it for later?" I felt her mood improve significantly. Smiling, I answered, "Sure, the deadline is 1 month." Su Qingyue thought for a moment. Countless thoughts flashed in her mind, starting to complain. Gu Xingcheng, I'm being bullied. The next second I suddenly pulled back, asking, "Who bullied you?" Looking like I wanted to go beat them up for her. Su Qingyue chuckled inwardly, but on the outside, very serious. "My roommates bully me. All 3 of them bully me." Hearing that, I sighed in relief, reaching out to pinch her cheek, smiling dotingly. "Your roommates can actually bully you? It's lucky enough if they aren't bullied by you." Su Qingyue sulked. "The 3 of them snore so loudly at night. I haven't slept well for days." She looked up, looking at me with pitiful eyes, like a poor puppy wagging its tail at me. "Really, I just want a good sleep. How could I resist her?" Like this. Seeing the distinct bump on her forehead again, feeling even more heartache. From such high stairs, falling head first, how could it not hurt? My heart softened instantly, gently coaxing. "Then I'll stay out with you tonight. It happens to be Friday. No school tomorrow." Su Qingyue pursed her lips where I couldn't see, unable to suppress a triumphant smile. We walked hand in hand around the campus, enjoying the gentle night breeze, strolling leisurely toward the dorms. I walked Su Qingyue all the way to the girls' dorm. Only then did we temporarily part ways. I ran back to my dorm, packed simply under the questioning of my roommates, briefly recounting what just happened. Li Yu almost coughed up blood from anger after hearing it, going crazy. "No way that Yang girl, does she not understand human language? Truly, belated deep affection is cheaper than grass. I really want to punch her." Gucci's voice was steady. "Don't worry, everyone. I did a reading a few days ago. Her future looks pretty bad, very unlucky anyway." Seeing me packing sleepwear, Gucci asked casually, "Xing Cheng staying out with his girlfriend again?" I folded my pajamas, putting them in a small bag along with my ID card. Her roommates snore loudly. She hasn't slept well lately, so I'm going to stay with her, just purely covering up and talking. And Yicheng sighed. I shouldered my bag and headed out. "Bye." Roommates waved at me. When I got downstairs, Su Qingyue had finished packing and was waiting at the door. I walked over happily. Why so fast? Thinking about being with her for so long made me happy. Su Qingyue held my hand. We arrived at the hotel, inserted the key card. I was about to say something when it went pitch black. Heh heh. Su Qingyue's seductive voice rang in my ear. Gu Xingcheng, I want to kiss you. I've been thinking about it like crazy on the way here. In the dim, ambiguous room, I fell into a gentle trap. I was forcefully pinned against the door by Su Qingyue. An indescribable emotion permeated the air. She spoke almost right against my neck. Every word carried an intoxicating magic, making the heart beat faster. I was trapped between Su Qingyue and the door. Before I could speak, my lips were captured. I immediately lifted her chin, counterattacking vigorously. This kiss was even more hurried and intense than the last. Like a sudden storm rising on the sea surface, I pried open her lips, impatiently sucking and claiming her sweetness. Su Qingyue wrapped her arms around my neck, responding passionately. Burying my head in Su Qingyue's neck, voice choked. Qingyue, I like you so much. Su Qingyue became happy. She inserted the key card, turning on the warm lights. Oh right, sleeping well lately? I answered, pretty good. Since dating Su Qingyue, I've been happy every day. Sleep quality is much better too. Su Qingyue's sulky voice came from my chest. But I don't sleep well. You're in my dreams. But when I wake up, you're not there. Heart aching, I cupped her face and smiled brightly. That's why I'm here to stay with you tonight. I carried the person in my arms to the bed. Wait a bit, I'll shower first. The kissing made me a bit hot. So hot I needed to cool down. After I finished my cold shower and came out, Su Qingyue took her pajamas into shower. Don't know how long passed. The young girl changed into a snow-white nightgown. A small towel draped over her shoulder. Long, silky black hair, soaking wet, hung over the towel. My Adam's apple bobbed, standing behind her. I'll dry it for you. Su Qingyue happily threw herself into my arms, voice gentle. You're so good. I hugged her and went into the bathroom together. Door closed. Plugging in the hairdryer, the corners of my mouth couldn't help but twitch up. The two of us faced the mirror. I stood right behind Su Qingyue and turned on the switch, patiently drying from the roots to the tips, occasionally smoothing her hair. Through the mirror in front, I could clearly see Su Qingyue's face, the girl's exquisite features, her deep phoenix eyes. After drying for about 20 minutes, her seaweed-like hair became fluffy and soft. I unplugged it and put it in the cabinet. The next second, a strong arm suddenly wrapped around Su Qingyue's waist. She was lifted up with one arm, seated firmly on the wash basin. She instinctively clung to my shoulders and let out a surprised cry. What are you doing? Without waiting for her to react, I leaned in close to her face. Doing something legitimate with my girlfriend, of course. As soon as the words fell, I kissed her again. We were now at eye level. This time I kissed very carefully. The palm on her waist felt like it was starting a fire, slowly moving up through the thin layer of her nightgown, but abruptly stopping just as it was about to touch a soft spot. I lowered my head to Su Qingyue's ear and asked politely, "Can I touch?" She looked up, her voice like a kitten. "You can." My heart pounded wildly in my chest. A long time later, I finally let go, satisfied, and lifted her down. I panted, ears burning red, wanting to merge her into my own body. Su Qingyue said softly, "Are you feeling a bit uncomfortable now? I can help you." Her voice had a hook to it, incredibly seductive. Su Qingyue pressed her advantage. Didn't boyfriend say he'd agree to one condition of mine? I'm using it now. I felt like I had dug my own grave. I quietly glared at her, but I also said, it can't be. Too excessive. The final interpretation lies with me. Su Qingyue hugged me, her tone a bit serious. "Xingcheng, I want to help you." Night fell, the darkness gentle. The curtains in the room blocked out the lingering hazy moonlight. The air was filled with soft panting sounds. Su Qingyue fell asleep in my arms, the corners of her mouth twitching up. After so many days, she finally got a good night's sleep. March 30th was my birthday, on a Saturday, which happened to be the finals of the music competition. Compared to the tension and anxiety of the preliminary round, I could now clearly feel a bit more confidence and courage. Because I had sung for Su Qingyue many times, and Su Qingyue had praised me very, very many times. Being deeply loved by someone makes you fearless. On the night of the finals, stars twinkled. The audience filed into the stadium, both expectant and nervous. Many audience members already had their favorite contestants, while the rest were neutral passers-by. Before, the preliminaries and second round were divided into many areas, so they couldn't compare to this grand final. The stage was spacious and bright. The competition was scored based on judges' scores and online votes, a total of 40 people battling it out. At 6 p.m., the live broadcast of the finals officially began. The host quickly started to hype up the stage. The atmosphere in the stadium gradually heated up. The cheers from the audience below were loud. Especially for some fairly famous bloggers, fans began raising cheer signs. Waves of enthusiastic heat rose from below the stage. In the distant seats, Li Yu shouted happily, "Xingcheng actually made it to the finals. What do we do? I'm so nervous." And Yicheng hurriedly pinched his philtrum. "Stop talking, I'm nervous too. Plus, Xingcheng just drew the second to last number. We have to be nervous until 8 or 9 o'clock. Gucci quietly comforted them. It's okay, it's okay. Trust Xingcheng. I've calculated it. The omens are very good." The three brothers were nervous for a while, then looked forward, stealing glances at Su Qingyue. Just then, a handsome guy wearing hanfu and singing in opera style received countless applause and cheers. The cheering was deafening. Su Qingyue barely looked up, just quietly looking at her phone screen, texting me. Suddenly, Chen Shishi poked her shoulder. Su Qingyue was smiling while texting, but when she looked up, the smile vanished, her expression cold. What is it? Chen Shishi looked around and leaned in close to her, then whispered. We all agreed to remind you. Remind me what? Chen Shishi said while throwing a pack of tissues at her. Don't get a nosebleed later. Su Qingyue rolled her eyes disdainfully. Get lost. At 8 o'clock. A golden figure appeared on the stage, immediately attracting Su Qingyue's full attention. Number 37, Gu Xingcheng, performing Early Summer. Please give him a round of applause. Millions of people had already tuned into the live stream room. I stood under the stage lights, wearing the tailored suit Su Qingyue had given me earlier, shining brilliantly. This time, the stadium was bigger, the audience vast. I couldn't find my friends at all, nor could I find Su Qingyue. My mind suddenly flashed back to the confession on the mountaintop. What she wrote in the love letter. Gu Xingcheng. You seem to always lack confidence, always feeling you are very ordinary, very mediocre, but in my eyes, you are always unique, a king shining brighter and more dazzling than the sun. I walked onto the vast stage, every step leisurely and calm. The lights slowly brightened. I picked up the microphone, smiled, and looked straight into the camera. When I started singing, it seemed as if time stood still. The voice was as clear as a spring source, like the first ray of sunlight in the early morning, piercing through clouds and dust, shining into the softest part of people's hearts. For the finals, I didn't choose a song with a powerful melody. Instead, I chose a very quiet song, blending gentleness and strength into one, emotion and technique perfectly combined, weaving an auditory feast. The eyes of the judges below lit up slightly, unable to ignore. The talented young man on stage, Su Qingyue, was watching in a trance. In the million-viewer live stream room, many people fell for him immediately. When the last note ended, I smiled gently. The audience immersed in the music took a long time to recover. Applause and cheers blended together, echoing throughout the stadium. Several girls screamed wildly. The three roommates also shouted loudly. Li Yu was moved to tears. I think Xing Cheng sang the best. It's not just my filter, is it? And Yi Cheng waved his light stick and said, compared to those who sang off key, wrong notes, or cracked their voices, our Xing Cheng is much better. Not nervous at all. I walked off the stage. Less than 10 minutes later, the last two contestants also finished their performances. The organizers were continuously counting votes. After waiting a long time, the host finally came on stage to announce the results. The other contestants and I sat in the front row. Seeing my online voting rank was only 18th, and not hearing the host read my name, I didn't feel too sad. After all, this was my best performance, no regrets. I quietly looked at the two messages sent by Su Qingyue. Baby, you sang the best. Come home with me tonight. My face gradually heated up, involuntarily recalling some ambiguous images. Until the next second, I seemed to hear my name. The host's voice was extremely resonant. First place, Gu Xingcheng. Congratulations to the champion. The whole arena boiled over. I was stunned, unable to believe my ears. Because my online voting score wasn't actually that high, I didn't expect the judges' scores to be so high. The camera projected my bewildered reaction onto the big screen. The livestream audience was about to scroll away, but seeing this, they hurriedly came back, frantically sending comments and stickers. So cute. Can my baby debut? I really want to be his fan. I want to pinch his cheeks. They must be very soft. You can't fake this reaction. It looks real. Why is our Shishi only third? Unfair. Is the fan above okay? Your blogger sang a line like he was venting anger. My ears heard it. If fan votes weren't so high, he wouldn't even make the top 5. At the same time, below the stage, the three roommates were crying tears of joy. The girls screamed loudly. Brother Gu is so cool. My heart is about to jump out. The prize money for first place was very generous. I was still in a state of shock. Until the interview was over, changed clothes, and on the way to late-night supper, I suddenly came back to my senses, hugged Su Qingyue's waist tightly, looked down at her, and asked, "Am I really that amazing?" Su Qingyue looked up at her boyfriend with super long reflex arc, stole a kiss, corners of her mouth curling into a smile. Yes, our Gu Xiaocheng won first place. So amazing. The girls followed behind the couple like a horde of zombies, closing their eyes in pain seeing the public display of affection, wishing they could blind themselves. I give up, spreading dog food every day. The group went to the barbecue restaurant next door to celebrate my birthday, and also to celebrate my first place win. The restaurant wafted with the smell of barbecue. Su Qingyue mixed a divine dipping sauce according to my taste, and grilled quite a few types of meat I liked, placing piece by piece into my bowl. I smiled and praised her grilling. Under the table, I poked her leg with my index finger. Su Qingyue didn't change her expression but responded with a sound, but her hands grilled even more vigorously, as if she wanted to grill everyone present. I looked at the bowl piled high like a small mountain and whispered, "Enough. I can't eat this much, girlfriend. You eat more too." Chen Shishi sitting next to us overheard her. She giggled at Su Qingyue. "I can eat it." Su Qingyue coldly looked up at Chen Shishi with her expectant and gluttonous face, then put a piece of burnt meat into her bowl. Very generously. "Eat it." Chen Shishi thought, "Am I livestock?" The group started eating barbecue while playing games. Dinner came to an end. Finally, I started sharing the birthday cake. Su Qingyue put a yellow cardboard birthday crown on me. After lighting the candles, I slowly closed my eyes, looking solemn. Wishes rang out in my ears. There were the lively voices of the girls, happy birthday, brother Gu, the warm, happy voices of my roommates, little Xingcheng, happy 19th birthday, and the gentle, heart-fluttering voice of Su Qingyue, happy birthday, baby. After making a wish, I opened my eyes and blew out the candles. I took the knife to cut the cake. The cake was full of cute little cream animals. Everyone had a corresponding one. My birthday wish was very simple. Hope Su Qingyue is happy every day. Hope everyone is happy every day too. At 10 p.m., it poured rain. After everyone parted ways, happily returning to their homes, I opened a large umbrella and held Su Qingyue's waist as we walked back. Su Qingyue smiled faintly. Are you really sleeping? At my place tonight? As soon as she spoke, thunder roared, more violent than before, as if to shatter the sky, startling me. Thinking about the ghost flying backwards gave me the creeps. Of course it's true. Don't you welcome me? Su Qingyue tried to suppress her frantically rising lips. She kissed my left cheek warmly to welcome me. Every day I wish I could stuff you into a sack and bring you directly to my house. I rubbed my left cheek. Why did you sneak attack me? No warning at all. I was still thinking about random stuff. You suddenly rushed over and kissed me, almost scared me to death. Just finished speaking, Su Qingyue suddenly pecked my cheek again, openly stealing a kiss from my boyfriend. So what? I pretended to be angry and glared at her. Su Qingyue felt I was incredibly cute. Her mood improved even more. We arrived at the apartment complex gate. Suddenly, a familiar voice rang out from behind, as if discovering some treasure. Gu Xingcheng. Su Qingyue turned around. The smile in her eyes instantly vanished without a trace, replaced by vigilance and disgust. I also stopped, subconsciously turning around, eyes revealing unreadable emotions. Yang Yuting stood in front, holding an umbrella, lips pale, dark circles under her eyes. Her whole spirit seemed exhausted, as if she would collapse the next second. Her demeanor was unrelated to the high mountain flower she used to be, but when she stared at me, her eyes suddenly lit up with a brilliant light. I subconsciously hugged Su Qingyue. Su Qingyue spoke up in warning. Did I not beat you enough last time? Yang Yuting paid no attention to her mockery, hearing nothing. In her heart and eyes, there was only me. She clutched a bag with both hands, hurriedly unzipping it. Her voice sounded as if she was offering her whole heart. Trembling slightly, Gu Xingcheng, I know today is your birthday. I prepared a lot of birthday gifts for you. Inside the bag were all kinds of gift boxes. A glance revealed they were of significant value. Yang Yuting hugged the backpack as if clutching a life-saving straw, looking up full of hope. But the next second, she froze. There was not a ripple in my eyes. No fluctuation whatsoever. I just quietly watched her perform, as if watching an unrelated person. Yang Yuting's ears rang. Even if she ripped her heart out now, I wouldn't be moved at all. Her voice was humble. Xingcheng, don't you like it? Didn't you always like these things? But I just calmly glanced at her, saying nothing, as if watching a strange animal perform. In that moment, Yang Yuting's eyes suddenly became wet, her vision blurring. She thought of her past self, and her past life self. It seemed no matter how expectantly and nervously I looked at her, she always appeared ice-cold, devoid of expression and emotion, always silent, always needing me to coax and cherish her. So this is what it feels like to be cut by a knife? The boomerang hit hard, like countless sharp shards pressing into the heart, seeping deep into the marrow. Yang Yuting's face was as pale as paper. Her lips trembled. She persisted. What do you like? Whatever you like, I'll buy it for you, okay? I watched her carefully ingratiating herself, bowing and scraping. My gaze was calm as water, without any ripples. Turns out Yang Yuting did not know that March 30th was my birthday. I put my arm around Su Qingyue, my voice steady, enunciating each word, very cheap. As soon as I spoke, Yang Yuting stumbled back as if stabbed. No. She hurriedly pulled out a watch, whispering, How can it be cheap? This was 3 million USD at the charity auction. I interrupted her. I meant you are very cheap. Yang Yuting was clearly stunned, looking up blankly. The last taut string in her mind suddenly snapped. Couldn't take it anymore, eyes completely red. Choking and stuttering as if begging for pity like a child who made a mistake. Xingcheng, I'm sincere now. Can you forgive me? I won't let anyone bully you anymore. I was really bad before. Now let me chase you instead. Give me one more chance. Gu Xingcheng, I regret it. I've always liked you in my heart. She threw away almost all her pride and disguise, revealing her truest and most humble state to me, craving my acceptance of such a self. Yang Yuting desperately wanted to grasp the only light, reaching out to me. The next second, smack, she was punched hard in the face, defenseless. She fell straight backward. The umbrella was knocked aside. The bag also crashed to the ground. Su Qingyue had rushed in front of her at some point. Not giving her a chance to breathe, she choked her with one hand, the other punching her precisely in the stomach. Fast, accurate, ruthless, as if trying to beat her to death. Yang Yuting was in so much pain her insides felt like they were splitting, her expression distorted from the pain. Su Qingyue's eyes were fierce. Grabbing her collar, she coldly sneered, Like? If you really liked Gu Xingcheng, you wouldn't have stood by watching him get bullied. You wouldn't touch him against his will. You wouldn't try to butt in and destroy his happiness. And you definitely wouldn't stalk him repeatedly and bother him. Su Qingyue said word for word, exposing the bloody truth. The only person you've ever liked is yourself, pretending to be deep? For whom? Selfish, fake coldness. Su Qingyue stared at Yang Yuting's miserable face, looking down as if at a worthless clown. The storm grew stronger, pounding on the two of them. The rain was so loud, I stood by with the umbrella, unable to hear their conversation, eyes full of worry and heartache. Suddenly, a terrifying thunderclap exploded, deafeningly loud. Yang Yuting's eyes bulged. A salty metallic taste of blood rose in her throat. Her mind went blank for a moment. She hadn't slept for days, her body exhausted. Since birth, she had been like a programmed machine, working strictly according to instructions. What was her goal? Beliefs? Hobbies? None. Just avoid. Everything was nothing. She only knew everything had to be done perfectly. Just receive instructions and follow them seriously. But then what? After completing these things, what then? Inherit the Yang family. Then what? What should she do? She didn't even have friends. She was lonely, desperately needing a crowd to flatter her. Only then could she feel like a living person. How could she not know those people weren't sincere? Two-faced? One way to her face, another behind her back. She knew it all. But so what? Until I appeared. How could she not like me? Yang Yuting couldn't take it anymore. Lying on the ground, she used all her strength to strangle Su Qingyue. But Su Qingyue seemed to feel nothing, just coldly and ruthlessly lifting her up, then smashing her head against the ground again and again, splashing up bloody water. I don't know how long passed. Yang Yuting had no strength left, collapsing completely on the ground, rain pouring on her face. Yang Yuting watched helplessly as I held the umbrella for Su Qingyue. This scene was like a sharp knife stabbing deep into her eyes. Her body was covered in injuries. Gu Xingcheng, Yang Yuting sobbed with difficulty. Even her soul was struggling in pain, begging me to pity her, to feel heartache for her. I just bowed my head slightly, looking at her indifferently for a few seconds. My gaze was distant and cold, as if looking at a stranger. Tone very calm. Don't look for me again. From now on, I don't know you. The voice was as light as a feather, but every word weighed 1,000 pounds, nailing into the heart. In my clear eyes, there was no longer the fondness and expectation as before, not even sarcasm or disgust. Yang Yuting's face stiffened. Her heart felt like it was gripped by a giant hand. She was going crazy with anxiety, struggling to kneel up. She screamed hoarsely, "No, don't! Gu Xingcheng, hate me if you want. Don't forget me. Don't look so emotionless. Don't treat me like this." Yang Yuting knelt on the ground, watching me turn around, and hold Su Qingyue's hand as we walked inside, watching their perfectly harmonious figures under the streetlights. She fell to the ground as if drained of all strength, soaked by the dirty water. The heavy rain blurred Yang Yuting's eyes. She repeated her desperate and broken whispers, "Don't forget me." Old sweet memories kept flashing in her mind, forming a stark contrast with this bone-chilling stormy night. The rain battered her face, as if ruthlessly mocking her. The water on the road got deeper. Yang Yuting was gradually submerged, closing her eyes in pain. She seemed to have always hidden in a small, dark, enclosed room, waiting for someone to truly enter. Many people wanted to try opening this door, but only for the treasures inside. And they couldn't last long before revealing their true colors and slowly leaving. I appeared at this moment, summoning the courage to knock on her door, again and again, but she never opened it, countless times testing my sincerity, using coldness to confirm if I really wanted in. Secure in the knowledge she was favored, high and mighty. Then the person knocking got discouraged and turned to leave. When she realized her mistake and rushed out to hold him back, it was too late. She had driven me away with her own hands. Suddenly, footsteps approached. The driver, holding an umbrella, looked shocked, rushing over to help her up. "Oh, miss, I finally found you. Why are you here? Adam is still waiting." Yang Yuting's ears were ringing. She couldn't hear a sound. Her heart was ice cold, her eyes empty and unfocused. Finally, she lowered her head, covering her face in panic and helplessness. Tears of regret slowly welled up. Yang Yuting sobbed suppressedly, crying her heart out in the storm. After I went home and packed some things, I ran into Su Qingyue's bedroom. But on the way, my mood was a bit bad. Su Qingyue finished showering and changed into light-colored pajamas. Staring for 2 or 3 seconds, my emotional change wasn't actually obvious, but Su Qingyue could always keenly sense it. Like right now, my mood was a bit down. Thinking of this, Su Qingyue got angry, Yang Yuting pretending to be pitiful in the storm and giving so many gifts. But after serious thought, Su Qingyue felt that wasn't it. I wouldn't be sad because of Yang Yuting, but somehow a wave of jealousy still rose up, stimulating every one of Su Qingyue's nerves. She took a deep breath, pretended to be indifferent, walked over and asked softly, "Is the birthday star unhappy?" Suddenly, I opened my arms and hugged her waist, burying my face in her neck. Su Qingyue patted me dotingly. After a long time, my voice carried a hint of heartache. "Did she hit you?" Su Qingyue laughed indifferently, raising her eyebrows slightly, even a bit smugly. "She only hit me once, but I punched her countless times." I listened silently, hugging her tighter. I was just thinking, putting myself in someone else's shoes. Suppose Su Qingyue had a guy who chased her for 2 or 3 years. Suddenly one day, that guy regrets it, begging Su Qingyue to be with him in front of me, the official boyfriend. If that happened, I would feel angry and extremely insecure. So right now, is Su Qingyue also very angry? Sad? I was conflicted for a long time. I looked up and called her name seriously. Su Qingyue, are you jealous? Su Qingyue suddenly froze, pausing for a moment. Avoiding the question, she curled her lips into a smile. Why ask this all of a sudden? I bowed my head again, rubbing against her. I decided to make it clear, saying word for word, don't worry. I really have no feelings for Yang Yuting anymore. Whether it's like or hate, it's all gone. My world has completely excluded Yang Yuting. Su Qingyue was stunned, suddenly understanding. It turned out I was afraid she would be anxious and jealous. I suddenly stole a kiss on her lips, raising my hand to swear. Su Qingyue, I'm set on you. From now on, I only like you. My eyes were clear and sincere, giving her a complete sense of security. I wanted to say more, but the next second, the woman suddenly kissed my lips, gentle yet passionate. A while later, Su Qingyue slowly released me, saying sweetly, I will. I was bewildered. Su Qingyue stared at me. I couldn't help but gently stroke her lipstick-stained lips. She said seriously, I will get jealous. I looked at her curiously. In that moment, Su Qingyue wanted to speak out all the feelings buried deep in her heart, to tell me all about her bitter experiences. Her eyes were slightly red. She closed them and slowly spoke. Xingcheng, you don't know. Su Qingyue stopped speaking, only saying in her heart, you don't know when you used to steal glances at Yang Yuting, I was also stealing glances at you. You don't know when you were silently chasing Yang Yuting, I was also silently loving you in my heart. I frowned and asked, why are you talking like that? Speaking halfway. A moment later, Su Qingyue stood on tiptoes and whispered in my ear, Xingcheng, you don't know that every time I saw you smile at Yang Yuting, I was insanely jealous. My mind went blank. Suddenly, Su Qingyue hugged me and spun me around, forcefully pushing me onto the large soft bed and leaning over me. She hesitated not a bit, lowering her head to bite my lips. This kiss was even more passionate than the last. Su Qingyue just wanted to kiss even more intimately. Desperately wanting to be closer to me, I reached out and hugged Su Qingyue's waist. I flipped over and pinned her beneath me, responding to her with even more heat. In the bedroom, the curtains filtered the soft, lingering light. The air was filled with a subtle ambiguity, weaving into a net that enveloped the two of us. It was still raining heavily outside. Raindrops ceaselessly tapped against the window, making dull thudding sounds. My whole body became scorching hot. My mind began to drift into a haze. I felt like I was drowning in Su Qingyue's arms. We hadn't been kissing for long, through the thin fabric. Su Qingyue suddenly felt the change in me. Once she realized what it was, her body instantly went limp. Her mind went blank, and her eyelashes trembled uncontrollably. Su Qingyue slowly opened her eyes, reluctantly releasing my lips. Creating some distance, her voice became smaller. Gu Xingcheng, why are you so easily turned on? I looked at Su Qingyue seriously. A faint smile lit up the depths of my eyes. Because it's not just my heart that likes you. My body likes you too. The next second, she suddenly grabbed my hand. My heart raced. I only felt something cool on my hand. I leaned in to look. There was a ring on the middle finger of her left hand, sparkling silver. Wearing a ring on the middle finger of the left hand signifies being in a passionate relationship. My eyes lit up immediately. I took it off right away, seriously observing the exquisite and detailed ring. Inside the band, Su Qingyue's initials were engraved. Su Qingyue took out another ring that looked almost identical and put it on my finger. The only difference was that the inner band had my initials engraved. The name of the ring is named after you. The two rings seemed to silently witness a beautiful love. After I put the ring back on, I touched my ring against Su Qingyue's ring, making a clear, melodious sound. I couldn't help but curl my lips, my voice becoming cheerful. Is this a birthday present? Su Qingyue saw my delighted appearance and couldn't help but smile. That's right, I've prepared it for a long time. Su Qingyue looked into my eyes. Now I'm giving it to you as your girlfriend. I hugged Su Qingyue tight. Thank you. I really loved how Su Qingyue smiled happily in my arms. Move your suitcase to my place tomorrow. Go take a shower first. I prepared pajamas and a towel for you too. I nodded, turning into the bathroom, admiring her thoughtfulness. Faced with such a woman, how could one not be moved? But when I stepped out after a hot shower, I widened my eyes in disbelief. My ears turned so red they were about to burn. Su Qingyue was lying on the bed wearing pajamas that looked like a bikini. The fabric was pitifully scarce, wrapped in a layer of thin pale pink chiffon, which could be easily lifted, revealing her skin. Pfft. I turned my head away immediately. My cheeks felt hot enough to smoke. Suddenly, I was pulled onto the large bed without any defense. I even bounced twice because the bed was so soft. I struggled to sit up and look to the side. She did this on purpose. It was definitely premeditated. Su Qingyue curled her lips slightly again. Why wouldn't I dare? Is there any part of you I haven't touched? I wanted to retort, but I seemingly couldn't think of a reason. I lowered my head slightly, pursing my lips, mainly because this outfit is really too little. No, you can't even call this an outfit. Suddenly, from beside my ear came Su Qingyue's clear laughter. Extremely seductive. I suddenly looked up, looking at her warily. Su Qingyue smirked with a mischievous grin, reaching out to unbutton my pajamas. To be fair, you should be honest too, okay? Her slender fingers undid my buttons one by one, taking off the black pajamas, revealing my collarbone and sexy abs. You could even faintly see my beautiful V-line. The shape and tone of my muscles were perfect, firm and powerful, overflowing with sex appeal that froze my brain, I said blankly. What are you doing? Su Qingyue raised her willow leaf brows. Her eyes were enchanting, looking just like a siren. She even slowly moved closer to me. What's wrong, don't you like it? As she said this, Su Qingyue was inexplicably confident. It wasn't exactly narcissism, but when we were at the hot springs, my eyes were practically glowing staring at her chest. And when I was drunk, I kept wanting to touch her thighs. I'd sulk if she didn't let me. She saw it all. When I turned around, I also saw Su Qingyue's entire figure clearly. The thin pink silk fluttered gently. The maiden's curves were half concealed. Her slim, soft waist, her skin was white and flawless. Both innocent and provocative, like flowers just blooming in spring, making one unable to resist wanting to cherish them. It really suited her. Su Qingyue took my hand, slowly moving it onto her waist. The heavy rain outside pounded against the glass. The air was somewhat humid and stifling. I don't know how long passed. Su Qingyue tilted her head slightly with a sly smile, asking how it felt. I was in a dilemma, completely unable to resist her powerful seduction. Su Qingyue stared at me, slowly loosening her grip. She asked seriously, "Then to be fair, shouldn't it be my turn to touch now?" I suddenly looked up, my hand still on her waist, caught off guard. I was pushed onto the bed by Su Qingyue again. Su Qingyue leaned over and pinned me down. The scenery of her chest was fully revealed. My heart rate went completely out of control. I even forgot to breathe. Right then, her hot breath breathed down on me, against my neck. She whispered in my ear, "Today is your birthday. I can help you." She coaxed me little by little, step by step. It took me a while to react. "I don't need it." Su Qingyue, her other hand touched my abs, moving slowly downward, her voice extremely bewitching. "Really? But your body is saying it likes me too." Hearing this, my whole body was enveloped in numbing hormones. My breathing was completely chaotic. Su Qingyue pressed her advantage, pinching my waist. "If you lie, you'll turn into a piggy." My ears were red as if bleeding. I silently turned my face away, asking haltingly, "So, like last time?" I took a deep breath, wanting to calm down a bit, but my insides were in turmoil. Under Su Qingyue's direct, passionate gaze, I quietly inched to the side. Suddenly, Su Qingyue held my waist tight, staring into my eyes. "But this time we have to change the method. To help you, guaranteeing my birthday boy is satisfied." I had a bad feeling. "What method?" Su Qingyue leaned down and whispered a few words in my ear. The next second, my pupils suddenly contracted, staring at her lips in disbelief. A woman's lips are very sexy. When she kisses, it's very passionate. I instinctively backed away. "Don't you find it gross?" As soon as I spoke, Su Qingyue pulled me into her arms, her eyes tinged with a bewitching allure. I'd be more than happy to. Late at night, quiet and deserted. In the dimly lit room, hot breaths kept spreading. The string of tension in my head snapped with a pop. My whole body trembled slightly. My face grew redder and redder. Moans escaped my lips endlessly, until Su Qingyue sat up straight. When asked if I liked it, I silently pulled the blanket over my face, like a little turtle shrinking into its shell. "I like it so much, Su Qingyue." Her heart seemed to melt. After cleaning up, she finally turned off the lights. The room plunged into darkness. The sound of each other's breathing became even clearer. After wishing each other good night, Su Qingyue still hugged me to sleep as usual. But tonight I couldn't sleep, tossing and turning. My mind was full of the images from just now. Late at night, Su Qingyue seemed to be fast asleep. I watched her for a long time, stole a kiss on her left cheek, whispering, "I love you." After saying these words, I was incredibly satisfied. Closing my eyes, it took a long time to drift into sweet dreams. But I didn't know. The moment I fell asleep, Su Qingyue's eyes suddenly opened. The girl hugged me, placing a gentle and sincere kiss on my forehead. "I love you too." The second semester of freshman year passed quickly, not only getting several certificates, participating in quite a few competitions, but also joining many volunteer activities, extremely enriching. Moreover, almost sticking to Su Qingyue anytime, anywhere. They say love has a 3-month rule. A honeymoon phase for couples is limited to 3 months. It won't take long to return to calm. But I seemed to like Su Qingyue even more than before. Su Qingyue was the same. She felt uncomfortable if she didn't see me for a single day. Following the end of the last spring rain, summer quietly arrived. Final exams ended. It was the beach trip I had been looking forward to for a long time. After everyone went skiing in Luo City during winter break, we promised to go to the beach in summer, watching the deep blue sea in summer, enjoying the sea breeze with friends, surely a morning full of youth and passion. After I finished packing at home, I went out with Su Qingyue. I naturally carried Su Qingyue's suitcase. As soon as I saw her, I turned into a stealth kiss addict. Su Qingyue had also evolved to the point where just one look could make her accurately block my mouth with her hand. No kissing on the quiet little path. Camphor leaves fell slowly, landing precisely on top of my head. After being scolded by Su Qingyue, I felt a bit wronged. "Why won't you let me kiss her?" She silently brushed the leaf off me, pausing a bit. She explained softly, I put on a light layer of makeup today. If you kiss me, you'll kiss foundation and powder, plus it might smudge. She had worked hard to learn makeup, wanting to appear beautiful in front of me. I stared seriously at her face for a long time, before encouraging her that it was very beautiful, but truthfully, I couldn't tell she was wearing makeup. She seemed to look like that normally. Clean white skin, very pink lips, big round eyes, especially cute. Both my hands were carrying suitcases, couldn't kiss her face, a bit disappointed, secretly calculating in my mind. Tonight at the hotel, I definitely have to make up for it. Kiss her until she can't breathe, until she has to whine for mercy. A group gathered at the high-speed train station, the journey very lively. On the high-speed train, the whole group was full of anticipation and excitement. It takes 3 or 4 hours by high-speed train to reach City Q. I was sleepy too. Leaning on Suqingyue's shoulder. Maybe I was too excited last night. Didn't sleep well, now sleeping very soundly. Suqingyue really liked the feeling of being needed, curling her lips slightly, gently leaning against my head. More than 3 hours. The group finally got off at the station, caught a taxi to the hotel. Everyone stayed on the same floor. Mine and Suqingyue's room was the most special, a type very hard to book, a romantic double room, themed in an ocean style. Beside it was a panoramic floor-to-ceiling window, where you could see the vast, boundless ocean, mood turning cheerful. I ran over excitedly, jumped on the bed and bounced twice, looking at the scenery outside. Couldn't help but crinkle my beautiful eyes. Suqingyue, I love this place so much. Suqingyue blinked, her heart melting little by little again. I always seem to bring high emotional value to those around me. I always say so good, I like it so much. Also often patiently comforting and encouraging friends, always very sincere when smiling. Suqingyue's lips also curved into a smile, while unpacking swimsuits and other things, and organizing both our suitcases. She had imagined this scene from a long time ago. She would go watch the sea with me, stay together in an ocean-themed love hotel, and watch the sea with me in front of the panoramic window, while kissing. Suqingyue finished changing into her swimsuit, came out of the bathroom and started applying sunscreen. Getting tanned is trivial, just afraid of sunburn. I took the sunscreen directly, pumped a few times into my palm. I'll apply it for you. I looked down, suddenly facing her, those burning phoenix eyes. I silently took a small step back, my eyes clear and clean, speaking weakly. I'm just helping you apply sunscreen. What are you thinking? Suqingyue lunged into my arms, her eyes a bit innocent. I know what bad intentions you could have. I puffed my cheeks and said, don't think nonsense. As soon as I finished, Suqingyue raised an eyebrow, her tone full of implication. You can take advantage of me, touch wherever you want. My heart, my body, all loyally belong to my boyfriend. I didn't want to pay her much attention, turning my head away. Taking it as tacit agreement, amusement appeared in Suqingyue's eyes. I continued helping her apply sunscreen on her body. My eyes also fell on her swimsuit. It was a bright yellow swimsuit, accented with a small daisy trim, revealing the girl's slim, soft waist, skin especially white and smooth, truly like white tofu. Wanting to take a bite, I slowly applied sunscreen on Suqingyue, not missing any spot. First the neck, then the arms, then gradually moving to the waist. I squinted slightly. My palms on her waist were especially hot, rubbing right on the most sensitive spot on her waist, causing a numbing electric current. She couldn't help but tremble slightly. Then I continued patiently applying sunscreen on her legs. After applying it all over, Suqingyue lunged into my arms again, hugging very tight, whispering, "Boyfriend's sunscreen service, I'm very satisfied," hugging her tight, while softly coaxing, "If you're satisfied, give me a tip." Suqingyue looked up, her voice sweet and soft. "What do you want?" I couldn't resist bowing my head and kissing her lips. Extremely satisfied, then went out, took the elevator downstairs, met up with the others. After eating, it was already afternoon. Everyone eagerly ran to the beach. The afternoon sun was brilliant and dazzling, shining straight down on the sea, coating it with a brilliant layer of light. The sea surface rippled, magnificent and splendid. Occasionally the sound of crashing waves could be heard, whooshing sounds like spoiling for affection. Suqingyue and I interlaced our fingers, strolling on the soft, fine sand, slowly approaching the sea. The sand was smooth and soft, like a golden silk ribbon. Stepping on it was incredibly comfortable. I felt every step was a bit surreal. The deep blue sea, the golden sand, and the company of my beloved were all elements accelerating my heartbeat. Suqingyue tilted her head and looked up at me. I was only wearing swim trunks, most of my great physique exposed under the sun, my bangs fluttering gently in the wind. My features painted by the sunlight looked even more handsome, adding an air of freedom and unconstraint. The next second, I suddenly turned my head, meeting her gaze precisely. "What's wrong?" She quietly withdrew her gaze, turning to face the sea instead, letting the salty sea breeze blow on her face. "Guxing Cheng. I really love watching the sea, especially watching it with you." 2 sentences entered my ears. I paused. "I love being with you too." I couldn't stop the corners of my lips from curling up. Eyes. My eyes were filled with Suqingyue's silhouette. The girl braided 2 fishtail braids, even intentionally tied 2 yellow ribbons, braided into her hair, very unique and beautiful. Her whole being was shining. Suqingyue couldn't help but softly call me Xingcheng. Suqingyue's hand holding mine tightened, saying word by word, "You are my little son, an existence like a little son." I was silent for a moment, shaking my head decisively. "I'm not," I said seriously. "Suqingyue, you are the one who is my son." Su Qingyue froze, not expecting my answer. We looked at each other and smiled, just as we spoke a few words. Suddenly Jiang Chen ran over, impatiently pulling us to take a group photo on the beach. Hurry up, come take a photo, only you two are missing. Su Qingyue held my hand, lazily smiling at the camera, while I leaned close to her, smiling meaningfully. In the photo, a group of people stood on the soft sand, backs to the vast, endless blue sea, looking lively and free. The photo froze at that moment, summer in the sea. Sunlight and waves became the backdrop for the youth of teenagers, painting a vivid oil painting. Everyone started splitting up, waiting for sunset to board the boat together, heading out to sea. Everyone started building sandcastles. My gaze slowly fell on Su Qingyue not far away. She went to buy something nearby, but the next second, a handsome young man approached her, opening his phone, seemingly asking for her WeChat. My eyes fell on Su Qingyue, curling my lips slightly. Su Qingyue had long given me enough security. Sure enough, Su Qingyue held out the ring on her finger, politely shook her head, leaving without hesitation, seemingly not even remembering the guy's face. My heart felt sweet, continuing to bow my head sculpting sand. Not long after, Su Qingyue held 2 sea salt ice creams in one hand, the other hugging a large coconut, intimately leaning close to me. Honey, come try this new flavor. But the next second, she saw the sand pile I made was a 3D heart. And on the heart, our initials were engraved. I sat on the beach, smiling radiantly, like offering a treasure, eyes sparkling as I asked, "See, did I make it beautiful?" Su Qingyue froze, suddenly stunned in place, suddenly remembering a scene from the past. On New Year's Eve, December 31st last year, she had hidden a secret beneath the first snow and the moonlight, and now I drew it on the beach, offering it without reservation. How could it not be considered fate? I washed my hands with seawater, took the ice cream, salty and sweet, melting in the mouth. My eyes lit up. This is my first time trying this flavor. Extremely novel. You eat quickly too. It's melting. Half a minute later, hearing no answer, I turned my head slightly. Su Qingyue sat on the sand beside me, still staring at that 3D heart, smiling foolishly. Not hearing anything I said, I poked her shoulder with my finger. "Su Qingyue, are you listening to me?" Su Qingyue snapped back to reality, hummed softly, leisurely, took out her phone to take pictures, then brought the coconut to me for a sip. I bowed my head and took the straw. The coconut water tasted very fresh and delicate, especially suitable to enjoy on the beach in the hot summer. On the sea, the sun was about to set below the horizon. The group boarded the yacht at the scheduled time, standing on the second deck of the yacht watching the sunset. With the humming engine and crashing waves, the yacht headed out to sea. A visual feast was gradually unveiled. The deep blue sky was gradually covered, turning into pink-purple. Compared to the intense, brilliant orange-red, the pink-purple glow was even more gentle and dreamy. A passing girl nearby looked at the gentle pink sunset, blurted out poetry. Sunset clouds scatter like brocade. The silent river is like a ribbon of silk. Countless seagulls immediately surrounded the yacht. They circled in the air,